community group I formed last year and a running group before that. I've been looking at ways to keep people interested, to keep content fresh, to inspire and motivate people to come along, join us, be part of a really nice, friendly sort of group. My idea has always been to, like I say, to create this daily plan where people can get involved as much or as little as they want. I did think this was part of a longer term aim of creating a base and getting people to come in and speakers and such thing. But obviously with the way things have transpired recently, I've been looking at ways to keep our existing members engaged and ways of attracting new people into the group further. So yeah, I come up with the idea of creating a YouTube channel. I've had a few discussions with Get Out, Get Active Nottingham, who I do a lot of work with, and looking at things they want to do. I thought, why not take this 7-day activity plan as it is online and see how we can take it forward from there. They're looking to engage in more people, to remind them of the benefits of activity and getting involved in such things. So I thought, why not use Do Running, create a channel, something I've been working on for a while. As I've said, and see, you can see it there in all the practice videos and things I've done on my own social media. I'm no expert. I'm no pro at doing these video kind of things, as you can tell by my previous stutter, but it's just all I want to do by doing this is sort of help people relate to the problems I've experienced through my journey from when I took up running 5 years ago, and the benefits that's given me and the people it's led me to and the experiences I've had. I've done a little bit of mental health training, nothing major, just a few courses here and there. It's something I do want to develop and get into. I feel there is more need for people to speak about it on a personable level, where you can relate to the person speaking. And like I say, I'm no expert in this, and I'm not trained at doing videos and vlogs, and this is literally the first take right now. So from this, what I want to do is create the plan you might have seen. I will post it on social media, of a 7-day activity plan, working off things such as Monday motivation, midweek motivation, Happy Friday, all those kind of things, without being too sort of happy clappy, I guess, about them. Just to sort of, I am quite a black and white person, so I don't get sort of too heavily involved in all these cliched inspiration and all these things, but there are certain ones where I take a lot from it myself. Don't expect people to sort of buy into it in the same way, but I know there's certain things that work for me, without getting too heavily involved in the sort of technical and the preaching side of it, I guess, a little. So it's just things that work, and I'm just happy to share those. I know certain people so far through my own social media have been happy to sort of take that on board, making comments, So there's a little bit of focus on that. That's part of the plan. I'm hoping to help people in their everyday life. Of course, Do Running was based on a running group and still is heavily based around running and activity. We don't expect you to get involved, and that there is activity still going on around that. We are, of course, allowed to go outside during the current pandemic, so we're keen to sort of embrace that and stay fit and active and help ourselves wherever we can. But you don't have to be involved in what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to be somewhere where I use my daily experiences to identify how we can approach things a little bit easier, a little bit more sort of with a bit more focus and attention, and understand what we do as people to sort of move that little bit forward. I've mentioned it on the social media. I'm trying to sort of almost create the Joe Wicks thing without the exercise. So somewhere people can go to, they know what time the videos are going to be available, somewhere where you can go to and use my experience to refer to what you're doing in your life. So if I'm exercising and saying it's a good idea to do this plan or that plan, then perhaps you can use that into something you're doing and plan your week, such things. So basically that's little bit about who I am and what I'm trying to do here. I don't want to go on too long because this will be a work in progress. Like I say, you can see I'm no expert, so we're just trying something new. We're trying to engage a new audience as well as the people who are fully known to do running, and just keep people's spirits high through the current pandemic. I don't plan on it finishing when everything's better. This is something I've had in mind for quite some time now, so it's something I really want to sort of do and develop. Whether it works or not, only time will tell. It'd be nice if people tune in. If we inspire one person, then I've done my job here. That's all I want to do. I did mention before, through some of the videos I've done already, just general ramblings whilst I've been out walking or running. People have enjoyed them. Two or three people each time message me. I got a message just this morning from a blog I wrote a good few months ago now, nearly a year ago, and it set me up. It set me up for this. I was feeling a bit nervous, but all of a sudden I feel a bit more confident knowing that somebody's seen that and they want to sort of take on some of that advice and run with it, literally. So it's those kind of things that I'm trying to portray. Nothing too serious, nothing to scare you, nothing to force you into exercise or something you don't want to do. It's definitely not that. It's just somewhere. It's just somewhere where you can go and listen to somebody else who's living an everyday life. I have problems. I have issues. I've still got them. Do you know? Nothing too major. Nothing that can be dealt with overnight. But at the end of the day, I can only approach it in such a way that I am, and that people are relating to. So yeah, it's just a bit of chat, bit of information. Do you know, like I say, we'll work off, the only structure I'm looking to put in there is working off these certain words of motivation. It's not necessarily going to be about that every Monday. It's not always going to be Monday motivation, but if we can sort of relate it to that in a little way, because to be honest, I know certain things work for me, and if I can pass that on to somebody else, then why not? And that's the motto I tend to take through this. So basically, to start with, it is Monday. It's the first day of the week. It's Monday motivation. So what I've been talking about quite a lot in my sort of through my own personal social media is keeping positive. I've seen we've got WhatsApp groups in Do Running. We've got a couple of WhatsApp groups for the different groups, and I've seen a bit of a negative reaction at times. There's lots of positivity in there, as there always is, but people are a little bit worried, they're a little bit concerned, and to be honest, why wouldn't they be? It's quite a frightening situation. Through being a little bit poorly, I was watching a lot of the news myself at the outset of what's happening right now, and I seem to understand it a little bit more, but before others, not that I should, just because I had the opportunity to watch the news, and I found myself, by the time everyone clicked into what was happening, I found myself a little bit worried and petrified by the situation myself. But what I've quickly learned from that is, personally, I don't watch much news at the moment. I tend to pick up little bits of information from others. And what I wanted to channel my sort of time and efforts into whilst in lockdown, obviously we've all got time on our hands. We've got more time than we've ever had, I guess. The fact that we can't go out and do certain things that we wanted to before. I've just wanted to channel it back into sort of Do Running, Do Daily as we're doing now, and keeping people motivated and inspired to stay on top of things. What we've got to do is be absolutely positive for this situation. It's awful. It's obviously people are dying, people are poorly. It's affecting people's livelihoods and things like that. But what we have to do, we have to understand everybody's in the same boat. It is unfortunate, but we need to be positive. We need to look at the positive things will come out of it. Such things as this, people taking up more exercise, whether they're forced to or not, they're still doing it. And I know from taking up exercise a good few years ago, purposely just to lose weight, how quickly it becomes addictive, and it's not the worst addiction to have. So it's good in that sense. it's not ideal, it's far from ideal, and you'd like people to take up exercise in a much better environment when they're feeling much happier. But by doing exercise, I've just been to clear my head before doing this. It gives you, it clears your head for a start, but it gives you that confidence, that natural adrenaline, which helps you sort of get through the day. I found myself initially getting a bit stressed out and a bit worried in the evening. And you might have heard this in the news, because it happened. It was in the news quite a lot last week, that people are having strange dreams. I spoke about that in a previous video I did before the channel started. That what was all that about? But I found I thought, what could I do to put this right? I don't know I didn't know what the answer was initially, but all I started doing was continue with my exercise. When I felt a bit drab, felt a bit down, I'd leave my exercise a bit later in the day, because what I was doing initially was getting out early, getting my allowance of one sort of outdoor activity out early. So I was leaving it to a bit later in the day, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, walking a bit longer. I'm struggling a bit personally with running myself. Lots of people will know that, but right now I've not been able to run properly through an operation I had and through a groin injury I've got at the moment. So it's a real struggle, and I know running is my go-to activity. So not being able to do that, the situation kicking in, I found myself just at the end of the day, nothing major again, nothing new, nothing that's not been there, nothing I can't deal with in time. I found myself getting a little bit fed up, a little bit worn down by the situation. I was watching a lot of news, like I say, but what I've managed to do now is drag myself away from the news. I've realised I need to do that exercise a little bit later, or specifically when I need to do it, when these feelings start coming in, and then just kind of like get on with it a little bit. You know, I go for a walk, I listen to things, I listen to podcasts, I listen to music, I listen to inspirational speech. Again, I'm not sort of saying that's what people need to do, but this is what I do just to sort of get me through. Some of them are good, some of them are rubbish. You know, lots of them are much better than me. But like I say, I just want to sort of express what's working for me and how we can move forward in this time. So to sort of combat those bad dreams and those sort of that downtime at night, the first thing I did was exercise at a different time. Look, but one of the key things, and it's being spoken about quite a lot in the news right now, is planning. And plan, sort of look forward to things rather than let things just sort of pass you by and sort of escape from another day without really taking too much from it. So what I tend to do now at the weekends, as soon as the weekend comes, Friday afternoon, myself and my partner Kay, we're talking about what we're doing that night, what we're gonna do on Saturday, how we're gonna do things. And naturally, I don't want to teach people to suck eggs, but this is how we tackle things, and normally. So why not do this in real life? We plan what we're doing, we look forward to it. A lot of it's not the stuff we do. I like football at the weekends. I don't get to go to football at the moment, and I'm missing it like you wouldn't believe. But I also like dance music. So what I tend to do now, we have a night in on a Saturday night. We indulge a little bit too much sometimes, and again, it's something that just have to be wary of. But it's just something to look forward to. We try not to take ourselves too seriously. We try to have a laugh amongst ourselves. Do you know, one thing I have found it's done for me now is it's giving me time to work during the day, create all the activity and the fun I'm trying to create through the community group, and then also have time for myself, something that I'm not particularly good at. I pour a lot into running. It's what I love. So I'm finding now I've got that time to take an hour and a half to go for a walk. But what walking does, again, I'm looking for the positive there, because I'd rather run. I'd rather run every day. That's what I tend to do when I'm fully 100% fit. But what I've got to do is find a positive. So during that walking time, I get the opportunity to make videos, to think about what I'm going to use in these videos, to just do things. Look at my social media. I'm quite heavy on social media. I make no bones about that. So it's just little things you can do to help sort of get you through each day, do you know? And that's how I've kind of approached it. It is a difficult situation, there's no doubt about it, but what I tried to do is just plan. I said at the start of this conversation, at the start of this chat, what we tend to do, what I try not to do is work off all these like cliched sort of quotes and comments and things like that. But the one I firmly believe in is never miss a Monday. It works for me. I hate it when people question where people find motivation and where they find inspiration to do things. You take it from wherever you can get it at the end of the day. We can only do what we can do. And the thing I've found since I've been looking at what motivates me and what gets me, what makes me tick, and trying to understand what I'm about, is we get motivation from anything. Do you know, I mentioned I got a nice comment this morning. It set me up for the day. It really did. It picked me up. A blog that I'd written a year ago, 7 people might have viewed it, but that little comment, getting that comment was well worth it. Do you know, so that's given me inspiration. Do you know, if I go out for a run on a Monday, it sets me up for the week. I'm on it. Do you know, I'm on it every day. I feel like I've started the week in the right vein. Don't get me wrong, I don't think you should put things off all the time to a new week, like diets and such things. I don't think you should be doing that. But I know if I start the week well, then it just puts me in the right mindset. I'm the sort of person, if I've done something, I want to better it the day after and those kind of things, or continue it. And I like running in streaks and things like this. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that's what I want to do. So if I know if I get out on a Monday, I can definitely get out, make full advantage of the time when we're normally feeling a bit rubbish. Do you know, who likes Mondays in reality? But the point is, thrive on it, do you know, take it forward. You use some motivation. You use whatever you can from different people. Do you know, whether it was an amazing Saturday night in, like we've had a couple. Do you know, we do a lot of sort of music and talking to friends, and like just this past weekend gone, through the running group we created an amazing event where 26 of us ran a virtual marathon. It was incredible. The spirit that came off the back of that has kind of taken everybody into the week. Still getting nice comments about it now. Obviously, I organised it and it worked perfectly well in the end, which I'm thankful to everyone who was involved. But the point is, it's that spirit that's being created. And I think sometimes, like with this event, the adversity we're facing right now just makes it even more special, do you know? So there's no need to be downbeat. Of course, it's going to get to us. But it's about being positive, taking that into new things, whether it's a Monday, whether it's a great event of the weekend, whether it's something to look forward to. Just be positive. Do you know, of course, we have to abide by the rules right now. There's things we've got to do and things that the government is suggesting we do, and it's really, really important to do that. But that doesn't mean we have to put our life on hold and be defined by the situation. Do you know, we still got lives to live, and it's not... It's awful because we all love being around people, we all love our friends and family, but it doesn't necessarily have to stop us in our track. I'm trying this. You might think it's rubbish. It probably is rubbish, but it's something I can do. It's something, if it does work out, I'll feel a lot better about. If it doesn't work out, I'm kind of the determined person that wants to make it better next time. So like I say, it's key to sort of start the week in the right mindset. People use the start of the year, they use music, they use books, they use videos, you know, whatever works for you. And if it does work for you, then just take it and go with it. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. It's just something you want to do, you want to take on board. I get really, really frustrated, like you see it. Social media is such a positive platform, and right now people are using it to to its most amazing value. Do you know, it really is something we can thrive off. And I get really disappointed in like around the new year when people are going, oh, here we go, everyone's going to the gym, blah blah blah. So what? So what? If that's what it takes to get you into it and get you into these new habits, the key is obviously to maintain it and take it forward and make these positive changes for you, not for the people who are criticising. They're not. What does it matter to them ultimately? Do you know, they're not going to reap the benefits you're going to reap from it. So it's just a point of taking whatever you can from wherever you can and moving it forward. Do you know, I keep saying this motivational Monday thing, it works for me. So if you can get your week off to a great start, if you can look at what we're trying to do with the whole Do Running thing and the Do Daily thing, and you can get involved in some of the activities we're looking to offer, then why not? Join us. You know, we have a lot of fun. We have WhatsApp groups, what quite quirky and bizarre. You know, I'll look to create these exercise advice and tips. Get certain people involved. You know, to be a little bit more informative than I can. Create more events, more solidarity runs, suggest on how people can use their exercise to move forward and be positive at this particular time, but at all times. It's a passion of mine to give people what they need in terms of exercise and running in particular, but I won't force anybody to do these things because I understand how important it is to feel part of something first. So if you just want to be part of what we're doing, you know, if you just want to watch me, make a few comments, we've got Instagram accounts, you know, obviously Facebook and Twitter for Do Running, but Do Daily's got its own Instagram account where I'll ask people questions, just get involved, you know, follow that. It's at Do Daily 2020, I believe. So if you want to just follow that, just take on, just use the wording for your own thoughts if that's all you want to do. You know, take it forward. Like I said, I don't pretend to know the answers to everything. I really don't. This is partly my journey and me wanting to help people because that's the way I am. If you want to get involved, then please do. Please subscribe and follow the channel on YouTube. I promise it will get better, you know, and it will be as time goes on, and I feel the need to stop explaining what we're all about. You will see it develop into some sort of nice routine and rhythm, and it'll have a better flow to it. You know, I'll have a better flow to it. I'm getting a bit more confident as things go on. People keep telling me they get slightly better, so God knows what the first one was like. But there you go. As long I'm not taking myself too seriously with this, so I don't expect anybody else to. I'm just sort of there to offer my thoughts and opinions. People have asked about doing such things, so obviously thinking about it, and then I thought I'd like to give it a go. I'm completely out of my comfort zone, believe me. Really quite nervous, really quite sort of thoughtful about who's going to watch it, what they're going to say, but it doesn't matter, because if I don't do it now in this current situation, when am I going to make these changes and do things that I want to do? So yeah, that's basically the first Do Daily. Of course, we're back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more sort of words about what the plan is going forward. I don't want to sort of dwell on where we've been and what we are. You know, there's lots to sort of work off there and move forward. I will be tying these things in with sort of solidarity runs and a bit more sort of specific advice. Again, it might be specific to running, but it doesn't mean that advice can't be used in other areas, you know. And really, believe me, Do Running is not, I use a hashtag on a lot of the social media. We're more than just a running club, and believe me, we really are. The people within that have sort of embraced my vision with it, and I'll be looking to get others involved to sort of express that as well. So, sorry, I'm just keen to sort of express that it is more than just a running club, and this is just more than just running chat, although obviously that's my passion and that will come across. What we're looking to do is almost use that to help people. So yeah, give us a follow, subscribe if you can, tell your friends. If anybody gets anything from it, please comment. Might be absolutely rubbish and negative, but so be it. I'm putting myself out there for you to take a look at. And like I say, we'll be back tomorrow with hopefully to get up and running really with the way things are going to pan out over time. So thanks for listening to this first one. I hope it wasn't too bad, and I hope you tune in tomorrow. Thank you.